Hello people of the internet, welcome back. So in this video I'm going to be talking about 1 year after losing my hearing, so where I'm at kind of now. This might be helpful for people who have recently lost their hearing, seeing what their life might be like in a year. And also for me to look back on and see how things change in the future, if they do change. So I've got some notes of things. So I'll get right into it. First thing is that my life feels pretty normal. I feel quite used to it. I'm used to wearing my cochlear implant. I'm used to, I don't feel like everything's chaos anymore. So, for those of you who don't know, I lost all of my hearing, like profoundly deaf, a year ago. They think it was due to Meniere's disease, but it doesn't really matter. So I now have a cochlear implant and I wear a hearing aid in this ear, but I'm not wearing it now because it was annoying me. But I'm supposed to. I usually wear it. Yes. It's also been 6 months since I've got my cochlear implant, so that's all really starting to stabilise now. Everything is feeling much more settled. In the beginning, it was kind of chaos, and I don't do well with chaos, so everything kind of felt a bit like it all fallen apart. But now everything feels settled. I've got a job, finally. I've been looking for a job for ages. It's nothing fancy. I'm just doing housekeeping in a local hotel. So that's nice. Emotionally, I feel pretty good. Obviously, it's not easy having to adjust from life as like fully hearing to profoundly deaf and trying to figure out like what in my life is different and what's the same, and what just adjusting to just a big life change, and having surgery and everything. I haven't received any professional counselling or anything. That is something that I am on the waiting list for. But after the coronavirus pandemic, there has obviously been an increase in mental health issues, and so there is quite a long waiting list. So I haven't actually received any professional help, but I am taking antidepressant medication, hopefully as a temporary measure, because I don't have what I would consider like a serious like mental health problem that is kind of internally generated. It's more of a due to environmental circumstances that I've experienced those issues. So hopefully I'll be able to get everything sorted, but in day-to-day life I feel pretty normal. I think starting a job helps as well, because I feel like I have a bit more purpose to my day, and I just feel a bit more normal rather than sitting at home on benefits doesn't make anyone feel good. So now I have a more normal life. That can only be a plus. My future plans, so I'm going to be working in the hotel over the summer, and then in September I'm hopefully going to start university to study Spanish and British Sign Language. The university that I'm planning on going to, I had a look around, and it's an area with a very large deaf community, and they are very forthcoming when it comes to accommodations, and that feels like it could be a very good choice. I do already speak Spanish as a second language. I studied it in school and I'm pretty fluent. A bit out of practice, but I can speak Spanish. And British Sign Language, I've been receiving lessons every week and I'm taking to it quite well. So that is hopefully going to go really well. It's the same university that my brother's at, so I'll have like a contact there, like connection. And yeah, so overall my life is pretty normal. There are obviously things that are harder than they were before. I find social situations harder because obviously I can't hear, and there are also a lot of access issues. You know, going into shops and things and people wearing face masks and people refusing to take them down so I can lip read, because while I do have pretty good hearing with my cochlear implant, it's not really the same as normal hearing. When there's background noise, I do rely pretty heavily on lip reading. And yeah, and if people don't take their masks down in shops, it's very difficult. And people don't realise that I can't hear by looking at me, because obviously I look normal. Obviously, I mean, you can like kind of see that I have like something, but a lot of people don't know what that is, or you know, just don't quite twig that I can't actually hear them. And that's quite difficult because I get spoken to like I'm stupid, or people get irritated with me because I can't hear them. Phone calls are quite difficult. I can, to a limited degree, speak on the phone. It's okay when it's someone that I know and they have an easy voice to understand. I wouldn't want to call up a call centre because I don't know who's on the other end. Men with deep voices I struggle to understand, and people with different accents I can sometimes struggle with. I mean, it really depends. Or people that are very softly spoken, or if there's a lot of background noise on the call, I can't hear. In the wind, I can't hear. But it's one of those things, because it varies so much, people don't really understand what I can and can't hear. And oftentimes, I don't have enough experience to know whether in a given situation I will be able to hear or not. And that can cause, you know, make me feel a bit like anxious. But overall, my life is pretty normal. I, you know, I now have a job. The people there are very like accommodating and always make an effort to speak clearly, and you know, have made it very clear that they don't mind me asking them to repeat things or telling them to slow down. But not in a, oh, you poor love, sort of like, oh, poor you, like, don't worry, I'm doing such a good job being nice to you, well done me sort of way, which, you know, kind of patronising. But it's not like that at all. They're very nice and normal, which is what I like. I like to feel like a normal person. And yeah, a lot of things more things are the same than are different about me as a person. Like, I'm still completely the same person, and yeah, it's just, yeah, my life is pretty normal now, and I'm hoping that it continues to go upwards. I'll definitely keep making videos, and especially about university, but studying languages as a deaf person will be quite an interesting experience, I think. The university are enthusiastic about having me on the course and don't seem to think it'll be a problem. However, you know, it'd be interesting to see what ways I find to accommodate myself and what ways I find I learn the best. Obviously with British Sign Language that's not going to be an issue because all of the instructors, all the teachers are deaf and it's designed for deaf people to be able to use it, so that shouldn't be an issue. Spanish, you know, I do find it harder to lip read in Spanish. I have heard that other people who speak both Spanish and English find Spanish harder to lip read, so I'm not sure if it's just it is more difficult objectively to lip read in Spanish or whether it's because it's my second language. But maybe I'll see how I get with practice and I'll keep you updated on how that works out. Yes, thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions or advice for me, feel free to leave it in the comment section. I read them all and I answer them all. Just give me a while. Yeah, thank you. Bye.